Claude Design just dropped, and it's a really big deal because now it changes the way that we can build world-class applications in an area that Claude Code struggled with before. Because if you've ever built an application, or if you already have one, Claude Code is fantastic. It can build very robust applications, but when it comes to front-end design, it struggles. And if you ever try to make small changes and make your application consistent, it's where it struggles quite a bit. And Claude Design is its equivalent to Google Stitch, which is a design first tool. And I've tried it so far. It was released yesterday, and I can already say that it's fantastic. There's a lot of things that would need to be changed, especially on the usage side of things, because personally I'm on the max plan, on the max 5x, and you can see that I'm already on 32%, and I've prompted it twice, which is absolutely wild. And in terms of like the model as well, because we also saw Opus 4.7 released yesterday, we need to see some changes on that because there are some necessary changes because it's not fantastic. But so far, Claude Design is wild to say the least. And this as a foundation is going to change the game. So I've seen a lot of people talk about like landing pages and building mobile applications and building website. I wanted to show you a real use case for what I've used it so far and how it's helped me audit the designs that I've made so far. Because as you know, we've got a Scale 20 application for our members, and it's members only, and it's something that we spend a lot of time on because it's basically where we host a lot of our delivery for. All of our trainings, the different agents that we have, it's where we collect data, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I know that my designs can be significantly better. And before, I would have to go on Figma and make the modifications myself, take those exports, drop them into Claude Code, and hope that it can make something similar. And now I don't have to do that anymore. What I initially did is I spoke into Claude Design using Whisperflow, and I basically said, hey, got this application, and I want you to audit it, and I want you to lean towards a feel that is like Apple, Porsche, and Airbnb, because those are references that I really like, which are minimalistic, almost timeless. At least Apple is. There's a lot of white space, and it's got that timeless feel. And so I dropped in some screenshots for the app that we have. I made sure to include like a variety of components. And then just like in Claude Code, it created a task list. And then it probably worked for about 10 or 15 minutes, I'd say. And then from there, it gave me this audit, the design system, and then it gave me a few different pages that were redesigned. So overview, lesson, and then implementation. Now, on the first pass, there's a lot of things that I do like and that I don't like. First of all, the big thing is the consistency. Claude Code, whenever you build a page and then you go and build another one, sometimes it will be completely detached and you will have buttons that don't look the same, charts that are completely different. And unless you specifically prompt it on being consistent, it might not be. So what I really like is that there's consistency, or at least much more consistency than there was before in Claude Code. On the other side, some of these things I don't like. For example, I don't like this slider. These buttons for us, we don't have them like this because we want to show like the members' progress over time. And we've got no easy way of identifying that. Is this where I am now? Is this my best moment? Like overall, I really like this because there's just so much consistency and it's leaning towards more of what we want with that Apple and more like Airbnb feel. Now, secondly, what I wanted it to look at is the lesson design, because this is obviously where we have our videos, and something that we wanted to implement was like this notes, resources, and AI coach bit, and also being able to navigate in that particular like module, we call them levels, very easily. And with this layout, initially what we had, it didn't really work. And so what is suggested here with this, I think it's pretty damn good. And again, just the consistency, just like this section here with the transcript, I think it looks super clean. And getting Claude to do this by itself, like in Claude Code, forget about it. It couldn't do that. And this on the first pass, like I made 0 changes to this page. On the first pass, I think it's amazing. And then the last thing I got it to do was modify the implementation. For me, I'm not a fan of this page because this first pass is like, it feels very crowded. There's a lot going on. And I want to just show you some of the features that it's got. So if we go on to comments, this is where you can basically make notes to Claude Design for it to like basically build up a list of things to do, rather than typing into the chat saying, oh, change from good morning Samuel to, I don't know, another title. You can just click on comment and you can select the component that you want to change. And so let's say I want this chart to be show a green gradient or red when it's a downwards trend. And I'm going to do comment. And then once I've done that, it's basically saved it to the comments tab where I can then toggle it and then send it to Claude. But I'm not going to do that yet because I want to make another comment. And so let's say I want this button to be green, make this green as an example. I can do comment and then it's sending this. So I want to make these two changes and then I can send it to Claude, and then it's going to make those two modifications because it's going to have the reference of the component that I've clicked and the change that I wanted to make. And it's going to be working. And a small side note, while it's actually editing, it's going to check the design for you, which I think is a really neat feature that they've added, so that it has like pretty much the same use case that the Playwright MCP had, where Claude Code is going to go and review its work. So I think that's really neat. And so now it's done its work. I'm going to reload it. It's made the change. It's made the button green. And there's a downwards trend, so it's red. Very easy to do. That took probably about 2 minutes. But again, you can see that the usage, it jumped from 32% all the way to 36, which that is a really small change. So just keep in mind for now, I wouldn't go too crazy with Claude Design. You're going to hit your limit really, really fast. Now onto the other features, we've got edit, which here we can like select specific components. I can also modify text as an example. Let's say for the color, I don't want to use this color anymore, or I want to change this component. Okay, it doesn't seem I can change the green. Okay, yeah, it seems like it's just saved the same. Yeah, okay, see, that's like something that they would need to fix because that button is green and is showing as the same as the other buttons. And then draw, I haven't tried this yet, but it seems like you can make specific changes, potentially indicate certain things. And obviously the one feature that we are obviously interested in is being able to export to Claude Code. So I'm going to do handoff to Claude Code, copy the command, and then I can take this and send it to VS Code, for example, which is what I use, and it will make the changes hopefully. So that's something that I'm going to be trying. Now I'm probably going to make a second video to this because I want to test it a bit more. I want to see how it does with the handoff. I want to see how Claude Code makes those changes to the front end and see if it's something that I can actually do to the entire application, because it seems like this particular, like the command that I've got, is probably just going to make the change to the overview page, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to try a bit more. I'm probably going to make a second video to this. It's definitely opening the doors to building more applications, or not more applications, but building better applications, where if you watch the first video I made on this channel, you will know that creativity is the skill that I am betting on in 2026. And this is a tool helping you in that skill. So if you haven't tried it, definitely do, but watch out for your usage limits.